recording. Okay, so before I start today's this thing, I don't know. I want to use this um opportunity now to answer Nello. I beg. I know you asked me some questions before, but I said I was going to reply you, and then I forgot. So seeing you here now just reminded me of the stuff. I don't know. Is it okay to answer the questions here or later? Nello, are you there?
Okay, it's okay, it's okay, you can.
Okay, no
It's
problem.
okay, you can.
All right. So so from the questions you asked, the questions that were asked were one, I think, what are components, what are layers, what are assets. I think you said components, layers, assets, and how they are used. So there is one more thing you mentioned. Let me check. Okay, is my can you see my screen? Hello, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can, yeah.
Okay, so I'm opening up Figma now. So let's just wait for it to load up. Please, are you guys still with me? I don't know if my network is leaving. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
Okay,
we are.
okay. So,
We are seeing the
okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
thing.
Thank you. So I'm going to be explaining these terms one after the other, from auto layout to components, layers, and assets. Then what they are, um, how they are used, and when they are used. So first of all, auto. We started with auto layout. So basically, what auto layouts are just extra, are just like features or functionalities added to any of our objects that we are designing, so that it can be responsive, so that it will be able to be exactly the main word is responsive. So when we are talking about responsive, what that means is no matter how you stretch or shrink a particular object in your design, everything inside of that object will like grow or adjust with the size, either increase or reduce. For instance, let me explain what I'm talking about here. So I just hope this does not start hanging up again. So you guys should bear with me, please. This Figma platform can be heavy and can hang system sometimes. So come on. I think the page is lagging. Whew. So I don't know, from the explanation alone, first of all, what I was saying is auto layout just adds that functionality to the components on our design to be able to enable it respond to um, resizing. So for that, for example, I wanted to use that image now to demonstrate. So if I drag the image instead of um, the the button, if I drag the button component now, instead of the button being dragged alone, the text inside of it would also adjust to the size of the button. So that is basically what or how auto layout works. So I'm just going to wait for this thing to load up. So I'll just demonstrate how it works exactly. And before, okay, aside resizing, there's also the part of where adding auto layout helps you to automatically lay out your components inside the particular grouped element. So if you want to use auto layout, is either you want to create responsive designs, so that if you are increasing the size of your components it will adjust, or two, you want to build list of components or group of components that we adapt to a particular space given to it. You get, so and you can actually combine multiple auto layouts to build your interfaces. So aside auto layout, I was also explaining components, because I know I've mentioned components plenty times as I was even explaining auto layout. So basically every single thing inside of your design is called the component. Every single thing inside the design is called component. So from your buttons, your shapes, all of those things are the components that join together to build your interfaces. Then the other thing we mentioned was layers. So everything inside our design are actually arranged in layers. And what I mean by layers is that, if you understand, okay, how do I explain this? Let me use like, no, self-descripted is understandable from the name itself. If you understand how layers work, where something is arranged in layers, means they are above each other, like they are arranged above each other in hierarchy, something like that. So what that means is, let's come to this left side of the screen. If we come here, we'll see where they said layers. So this basically are all the layers of your design. So the frames here are like the first layer. Then inside this frame we have another layer. We have this text layer, then we have this button layer. Then inside this button layer we still have I think we still have things inside of it, which is the text and this rectangle. So if we look at it like this is basically what layer means. Everything is arranged layer, like inside each other, upon, like stacked up on top each other, layer by layer. So these layers basically helps us to understand the hierarchy of all of these components. So everything here is where all our layers are listed, and the topmost layer are our frames. So if we expand this layer now, this chart screen layer, we'll see that we still have multiple layers inside of it. We can still expand this layer again, and we'll see that we have two components inside of this layer. Same thing if we expand this layer here, you see that we have two components inside of this layer. So each time you group elements, they are like enclosed inside another layer, and those components become children of that particular layer. So I don't understand, does the explanation of layer make any sense to us? Hello? 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 Can anybody hear me? Hello? Hope I've not been talking to myself. Hello? Hello, can anybody hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello, can you guys hear me? Hello? Wala deal. Hello? Oh. Well, since the class is recorded, I guess I'll just continue because this network issue is another problem now. Okay. Okay, so moving on, let me share my screen. Okay, so yeah, that is basically it about layers. Then I was now also explaining what do we call it, auto layout. So what I said auto layouts were just like to help us, make our components responsive, and aside helping us to make it responsive, it also helps us to automatically lay out these components for us when we design. So you can add auto layout to if to your whole frame or a selection of objects. So both empty frames, frames with contents that are already inside of it, and even components. You can add auto layout to normal components. You can add auto layout to groups. I don't know if I've explained groups, but I think I did. Groups is like when you select multiple components and group them together. Like for example, if you come here now, this is a group. I grouped this component and this component together. I can also decide to group all of this and all of this together as one group by selecting both. And how to select multiple components here is, once you click one, you will now hold your shift key and click on another. It will select both of them. If you still hold your shift key and click another, then you can now select multiple components. And to group them, you just have to right click and you would see group selection. So that is it for groups. So what brought me here, as I was saying, you can add auto layout to groups and all. So how to now add the auto layout now is now another thing. So you can add auto layout by either using the shortcut, which is shift A. Like you select that particular thing you want to implement auto layout on, then type click shift A, or when sorry, 1 minute. then, or you can also right click on the particular component that you want to implement it to, then make use of add auto layout here. So as you can also see, the shortcut shift A is here. So now let me just like show us how this auto layout thing works basically. So without auto layout, now let me see, this is increasing, but the information inside of it is not increasing with it. So when we now let's now try to add auto layout to this and see the effect. So let me see if sorry, I guess so this is basically what auto layout does. Let me remove the auto layout feature here first. Where do I do this? Okay, instead of scattering what we've done, let me use something else here to demonstrate auto layout. So let me get this text box now and type in example, for instance. Let me increase the font. So let me as you can see, if so as I'm typing more words inside of here, it just keeps shrinking and shrinking inside here like this. But if we add the auto layout feature, the whole layout adjusts to the content of what is inside. So if I right click here and type auto layout here now, then no matter what I type here, the stuff, like the whole what do we call it, the whole component adjusts to what is inside of it. That is basically how auto layout is meant to work. I don't know if that makes sense, although I've actually myself not used it that much, so I will not say I completely get the full usage of how auto layout works. So that is it for auto layout, layers, components. Then finally is assets. Presently we don't have any assets here, but what basically what assets are, like external components from other people's projects. So you can maybe go to the community and import people's components from there, and those are the assets that we are referring to. Then aside that, you can also export components or group of components from our project outside, and exporting that, all you have to do is just click on the particular thing you want to export. Then if you scroll down here to the right, you'll see export, click plus here and just you'll see your preview, then just click to export. So you can basically export anything here. You can decide to export the whole frame. If you click export, you would see the whole frame. So this is just probably maybe you finish designing and you want all your screens to come out as pictures so that you can share it to people like that. So that is why that one is important. So yeah, that is basically it. Nelu, I don't know if I answered your question or I confused you the more. Or I hope I did not confuse any other person too in the process.
Not really. At least I got the important things I'm supposed to get. Thank you. I understand. I'll make more research. Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody have any confusion? Any other question before I go on? Hello? Nobody. Okay, yeah. So this thing we did here was just this project we did here was basically just to explain or give us walk around about our around Figma and how Figma works. So what we're supposed to actually do today was create a full website, then implement prototyping and interaction to the website. So that is what we're supposed to be to do today. I hope there is enough time for us to I hope there is enough time for us to cover that. So yes, I'm just going to go into that now. I want to clear all of this. Let me see. Okay, so I'm just going to create a new file, like a new project. So today what we are going to be doing is we are going to be designing a portfolio. We are going to be designing the UI UX of a portfolio site. So after today's following today's design portfolio design class, then I'll expect us to go back and design our own portfolio site. So after today's class, we'll now have our own personal, go back and do our own personal project and build our own portfolio site by ourselves using what we've learned so far and what we'll learn in today's design class. So as I mentioned, we'll be building a portfolio site today. And what is a portfolio site? A portfolio site is basically a website that tells people about you, what you do, and like showcase your a site that showcases your product or what you've done, your work, basically. So that is what a portfolio site is. So first of all, since it's a website, we are going to start with making use of the desktop screen. So I'm going to I've selected my frame, come over to desktop. So I'm just going to select desktop here. So we have our first screen. I'm going to name this home page. Please, if don't hesitate to cut me short if I start getting too fast or if I start moving or talking too fast, because I'll be trying to keep up with time so that I'll be able to cover up what we are supposed to do today. Okay, so yeah, we're going to create our first page, which basically would be our home page. Then first of all, we'll start with our navigation bar. So what is going to be in our navigation? Let's just select text and add home. So let's increase the font size of this to, let's see, 20. Let me use the font size of this to 20. Then I'm going to select this now. I'll copy and paste it. So sorry, let me just make use of the auto layout feature here, so that I'll not have to stretch out this thing every time. So make this auto layout, then this is home, copy and paste. This is I'll make this about, paste again. I'll make this let me see, portfolio, paste, paste, I'll make it contact. So are we seeing what auto layout is doing in auto layout in action now, basically? So all of this our navbar component basically are laid out using auto layout. So I can just stretch this. Let me see, there should be a component to align these things. There should be a component to align these things. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so the space between, just arrange them inside of the layout. So let me see. Now I think this space is enough. Let me just increase it a bit. I now want to make this stay in the middle. So yeah, this will serve as our navigation bar. I want to select all of this and change their font to Poppins. So this Poppins is, mostly is one of the most popular fonts we use in UI design. So now we have our navigation. The next thing I want to create now is our banner section, where it will tell our first information about the first information they will see, or people will see, about us. So I want to create a frame here, just somewhere around here. So this is usually called hero section. This is usually called hero section because it's just the first information people will see when they come into your site about you. So I don't want this thing to be too thick, so I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. I think this is enough for me. The next thing I want to do now is add like text here. Welcome to my portfolio website. So after writing this, what I want to do now is just make use of the auto layout feature, increase this. Sorry. Let me increase the font size of this also to, let's say, 48. Let me also make it bold. Okay. Okay, let me just change the text here to something else. UI UX designer. Okay, then so this will be like our main thing, the first thing they will see when they come in here. Then I'm not going to create like another text or gibberish here. So this will be like just a short, a more descriptive text about who you are. So I just want to, I don't know if you know about lorem ipsum generator. So it's just used to generate random text, so you don't need to worry about it. I just want to use it and copy. I just want to use it and copy random text. So this is basically, okay, let me reduce the font size of this. Your short description, this is meant to be a short description, so it's not supposed to take this amount of space. So now we have this. I now want to bring it down a little bit. So yes, I think it is okay here. Then ideally, or normally, we should now have something like an image here. So I'm just going to make use of an illustrator. Here. So remember when I talked about on draw, so that is what I'm going to. So I'm just going to make use of one of the images from on draw, or one of the illustrations from on draw. Okay. So you can normally I would advise that you use your picture here, because that is how most UI UX designers do. Well, it's not compulsory, but you can just use any nice image at all, illustration. So let me see if I can just get up something. So I just select this, download. So that's downloaded. I'm now just going to come here. So for me to be able to place this image, I need to bring out the container for it. So I want to make use of the ellipse sign. So I'll do this, put 400, so it will be a complete circle. Then it should stay in the middle here. So now I'm going to come over here, then place image. So the ideal thing is I want to add image here now. So the same way I brought this circle, I'm also going to click here, then click place image. so the image was downloaded to my downloads. So I just have to come on top this and place the image. So this is what we have so far. So we have our nav bar, our hero page. Then the next ideally is meant to be an about. The next section we are supposed to do ideally now should be an about section. So let me just scroll this down. Then, so talking about components now, we can also reuse most of our components. So instead of coming here to select text again, I'm just going to copy this here. So once I come here, I just click copy, or I make use of the shortcut Control C. Come here, then paste, I make use of the shortcut Ctrl V, but instead of Ctrl V, you can also right click on this place and paste here. Allow. So come here, put it here just to make sure it's in the middle. Then we can now make say about us. So we also have ways to align. I want to align this thing in the middle, so since I'll select this, come to this side here, and we'll see these shapes here. So this is left align, center align, right align. So if I click this, it will align to the right. If I click this, it will align to the center. So now we have about us, and I'm also going to copy this thing also to be reused here. I'm going to paste this and make sure it's in the center. So how you'll be asking, how do I know if it's in the center? So this middle line would align to the center of your screen to tell you that okay, I've placed this thing in the center. So I'm just going to like expand this thing a bit, and for best design purposes, all of your edges should be on the same line. So as you can see, I made sure I saw an indication here that it has reached where this one is. So I'm also going to do the same thing here, and I'll see an indicator that it has reached where this one is. So let me shift this one up a little. What I also want to make this one align to the middle, so I'll select it, come here and align it to the middle. So this is meant to be about me because it is your portfolio site. So I'm just going to duplicate this so that we'll have more content here. Okay, so you can either do your about me like this. This is one way of talking about yourself. So here basically you say everything about yourself and all, but there is a new how will I put it, a new approach people make use of now, because nowadays, as we know, people don't like using we use more images now in our designs because people don't like reading plenty again. So for us to adopt this new method of making use of images, we can just adjust that. So we'll now carry this here, bring it to the edge. Let me align this to the left back so it will stay here. Then I now want to reduce this one and bring it to the middle. Bring it to the middle and make it align left also. So now we have our about me here, and I now want to add my something like statistics here for people to see. So let's say okay, so I can just do that by making use of shapes now. So what I want to do is use bar. So I'm just going to come here now and just draw this shape here. You get? So as is here, I want to make it curved because I want to make something like a progress bar here. So as it's curved now, I'll make it a little bit lighter also. Then I'm now going to copy this again, come here and paste it. So this one now I don't want it to be curved. Okay, yeah, it's going to be curved, but I'm going to change the color of this one now to green. I'm going to change the color of this one now to green because I want to use it as, you know, a means of gauge. So let me reduce this, come here and place it. So now we have two components here, as you can see, but we can now group these two components to one by selecting this one, then hold your shift, select the second one. So if we come here to our layers, we'll see that we've selected two rectangles. So we can now right click, then we'll see group selection. So now we have this as a group. So if you look at this now, it looks like a progress bar, you see. So what I now want to do now is get a text, come here, and on top it and write branding. So this is like, okay, this is my efficiency in branding, that kind of thing. So I want to reuse all of this, like all of this as a whole. So what I need to do is to group them. So I just select everything, right click and group selection. So now we now have multiple layers. We have this layer with this and this inside. This one now still has another layer with this and this inside. So that is how this thing keeps coming up in layers. So now we have all of this as one. So now we have all of this as one. I can just select all of this together, copy it, click on the page, right click and click paste. So I'm just going to put this here. Double click to enter here and edit. So I'll just write creative design. So let me select all of this, copy, paste, mock-up design here. So far our portfolio is coming up. So the next part now is we are going to create our portfolio section. So just to keep up with our design pattern, I want to copy this background that we used here, only this background. So I'll right click, do copy, come down here, right click on this place and do paste. So this is where it appeared. We just have to drag it, and put it here. So let me like zoom out and let us look at how our site is so far. So now we have this side, which is about, and this is supposed to be our portfolio. So talking about reusable components, I'm going to copy this, come here and paste it. What just happened? Copy this, come here, paste it, copy, paste. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the middle, then align it to the center using this align here. So now I'm going to change this to my works. So I'm going to change this to my works. So I'm just going to expand this page a little. Let me see if this is in the middle. So yes, it's in the middle. So basically, as a UI UX designer, your work or your jobs will basically be pictures. So you now have to be creative to know how you want to display your pictures on your portfolio page. So I'm just going to make use of random rectangles here to display. So I just put this here. So I want to change the color to something different. I'm not really good with selecting colors, but bear with me. So we have this. I'm just going to copy, come here, paste. So this is another place we can apply auto layout. So let me just reduce this a bit, add auto layout. So now it's inside an auto layout container. So I'm going to copy this and paste, copy and paste. So the thing is appearing down. So what I have to do is select the auto layout component itself. Let me see. Select the auto layout component itself and change the layout to horizontal, not vertical, so it says like this. So now select this, sorry, so I'm going to click on this. I don't know why it is happening like this, and paste, and we have third image here. So let me just stretch this for it to reach the end. So here I can now come over here and make use of that space between, so that it's now arranges well. So I can select all of this, copy and paste, and just put this here. So you will not basically want to display every work here, so here you can now just create a button. So here you can now just create a button. Let me select text, then write see all. Align this. Okay, so let me select both the text and the rectangle. Sorry. So I'm trying to group the rectangle and the text together. Okay, group selection. So now this is meant to act as our body, our button. So I'm going to make this curved by adding 20 here. Let me see if that works. Yeah, it works. So I'm also going to change this. It's not going to be bold, and I'm also going to reduce the font size to, let's say, 20. Okay, 20 is too small. Let me say 30. Guess I have to change that back to bold and bring it down a little. Okay, so it's not so arranged well, and it seems I cannot arrange it very well with drag. So I'm just going to come here and use this Y and X to align it. So I'm just going to bring it down a bit, and I think now it's in the middle. So we have our button, but let me just change the color small so that it does not blend too much with the background. So I've changed the color. I also want to add effects like that shadow effect. So just click the plus on effect and you see drop shadow. So we have something close to our button. So this is basically what the portfolio site looks like. Our navigation bar, our banner image, about me, my work, and lastly a contact us section. So let me just select the whole frame, then come and expand this. So I'm looking at the time, so we'll basically round up very soon. So I'm going to copy this again so that it can be reused. So copy and paste. So I'm just going to try and align this to the middle and edit this to contact me. Yep. So So this contact me is where you can either put a form for them to fill and send you a mail, or you can also put your details. But in this place now, we're going to do the both of them. So first of all, the way I'll do this, I'll put our form here, then put our details here. So I'm just going to use our rectangles to create our form input. So we have this, so this should be like for email. I'm going to copy this so that I can duplicate it, paste this, sorry, let me drag it and bring here. So this should be for like name. Then I'm going to copy it again and paste. Then this should be like text or information or something. So let me select the frame and move it down again a bit. Sorry, just give me 1 minute, please.